What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, Alabama. And on this Mazda news update, we're still sticking with the crossover. However, this is America's first Mazda EV crossover with a different name. Instead of CX, it's an MX-30, and it's available now. We're going to jump into why this is perhaps the best driving, best looking, all around EV for every American. Stay tuned. Earlier this month, Jalopnik featured an article on the MX-30 and why this was the best electric vehicle for American reality. And I have to agree with the author, although to put it in perspective, he said that he was exactly the target market for Mazda and this MX-30, being that it was just two people in his household plus a dog. And in that couple, they already had another vehicle for long range travel. And this just was for the commuting back and forth to work or whatever the situation was. And we'll talk about the range a little bit more. However, before we jump into all of that in that article, I did want to say that one of the benefits of this platform is getting to know so many Mazda passionate people in the Mazda Passion crew. And I had the pleasure of, Bert reached out to me over the weekend, and he actually is in California and has seen an MX-30 at one of the local dealerships there. And Bert Chiu, thank you so much for sharing those pictures of the MX-30, and we're going to dive into those right now. So as you can see, this is the three-tone MX-30 of the beautiful Soul Red Crystal, and this was in the wash rack at a dealership, and you can see that it's all MX-30 and it's here. Jumping into the interior, I believe this is one of the most unique and perhaps the most beautiful interiors available on Mazda, just because of the outside the box thinking, using the recycled materials on the seats, and also the throwback to Mazda heritage of the cork. And I kind of love that floating console look, so it's really nice. And I'm really interested in how the joystick or gear shift there feels. Looks like it's going to be very comfortable and a lot different than what we experience with the actual 6-speed automatic that are in most of our vehicles now. Of course, you can't deny the MX-30 because of the unique design, but also in this picture, the freestyle doors. So it really opens up and gives a nice entrance and exit for all passengers, especially those front row or front seat passengers. Just a lot of extra room, and one thing that makes this vehicle very unique, that throwback to the RX 8 days. Interior up front, other than the LCD display here for the HVAC unit, everything else is going to be somewhat similar to the CX-30, as you can see with the steering wheel design. Also, some of the gauges up front have been reallocated for some of the EV settings, but you can see the infotainment here is just like the CX-30. Here's just a shot of the back. Really shows that three-tone with that chrome or silver portion there. And I didn't realize this, but I guess they come with a sticker showing that they're electric, just to keep those identified. I also really love the wheels on this, and there's a picture up close from the Jalopnik article that we'll jump into in just a minute. And so thanks to Bert and Bob Baker Mazda for allowing him to take some pictures of these. Just a couple looks here of both the rear angles of the vehicle. One more interior look here. Of course, it's powered on and looks very comfortable, very similar. This one is the premium package, as you can see some of the upgrades. And one more look at the interior. Then let's go look at the window sticker. So the MX-30 starts about $33,800. This one with the premium package, as you can see, before the optional premium package, or premium plus actually, this one was $36,480. Then adding that Sewell red at $995 on top for that three-tone destination comes to $38,650. So package contents just like the CX-30 and the Mazda 3 already built in, just itemizing it there for a no charge. And you can see this one, of course, is very well equipped with that Premium Plus 360 view, front parking sensors, advanced keyless entry, Bose, 12 speakers, driver attention monitor, front cross traffic alert, which is one of those new safety items that is available on the MX-30, auto dimming exterior driver mirror, and the interior is auto dimming, of course, with HomeLink, and then Sirius satellite radio and heated steering wheel. So a lot of upgrades that we see kind of available on that premium package CX-30. So MX-30 and CX-30, very similar, of course. However, this one being the first EV for Mazda in America, actually all over the world, but here in America, it's pretty special and definitely a unique design with unique components. So let's jump back to the Jalopnik article, and just to summarize in a couple of points here, just of his article, and I'm going to link that down in the description so you can view and read the whole thing. A lot of good content from Bradley there over at Jalopnik, and he was able to drive that around and enjoy it. A current Leaf owner with a 50-mile range, so he was used to just kind of going back and forth to the grocery store. So the 100-mile range on the MX-30 kind of fit what he was needing, and actually doubled what he was accustomed to. It was an older used Leaf. As we get started, we know that the MX-30 is currently only available in California, and Mazda is only importing 560 of these, which I was not aware of that. I had not read this article earlier. So 560 MX-30s are what's available or going to be available in California. So if you're looking for one, you might better go ahead and see if you can put your hands on it. Of course, the biggest negative on this vehicle is only the 100-mile range. Now you may ask, why just 100 miles, Mazda? Well, the big thing is that Mazda wanted the driving dynamics of other Mazdas, but also wanted to be fuel efficient or get that range without being cumbersome. For them to increase that range, of course, would have required an extra larger battery. And let's just say that they added an 800-pound battery. When you do that, this vehicle weighs 3,655 pounds. And that may not seem like a lot, but when you're trying to get the most range out of an electric vehicle, it can be a lot. And if you added another 800-pound battery, you'd also have to upgrade the suspension, the steering, the brakes, the size of the brakes, the size of the wheels and tires. So quickly you could turn around to another 1,000, 1,200 pounds. And although you're adding all those things, it's kind of canceling each other out a little bit by having to upgrade all those other systems or mechanics. The average commute, as listed in the article on Jalopnik, to work is 12.4 miles one way. So round trip, you're under 25 miles. So technically, you could go several days on one charge if you're just using it for work, or at least a couple of days back and forth to work and then around town for other errands or other adventures there. The second thing to jump into about this article, of course, he touches on why this is the MX-30 and not the CX-30. It could have been very easy for Mazda just to take a CX-30, change out a few components, add a battery, and say, bingo, here's our new EV. But they didn't want to do that. As we've already talked about the styling, they wanted to make it unique. So the new look, a brand new vehicle, new interior with new interior materials, as we talked about. Also the freestyle doors, as we mentioned. Better dynamics, because they wanted to make this, although it was an EV, have better driving dynamics than you'd expect. And because of the battery structure and everything else, this is actually about a 45% stiffer ride. So once you get going, it's going to be very tight, very enjoyable. Actually, it goes 0 to 62 in 9.7 seconds. If you're really going to milk the range, you could do a slow start, or you could punch it and it have just the responsiveness and the feel of other Mazdas going up and down the road. Very powerful, considering that it's just 143 horsepower. It's more than sufficient for this vehicle, and it's got a reduction in jerk, so it's a very good feel of driving dynamics. Now, again, if you look at how this is placed, and Bradley summarized in his article that this could probably apply to this vehicle would be perfect for 15% of American households. Again, some qualifiers that you already have a long-range vehicle, or a vehicle that you could go long range on. So this would just be a commuter, and multiple vehicles, multiple drivers in your house if necessary. But keep in mind, the MX-30 does come with a $500 charge point credit. So you can use that as you're going on your travels, or you can use it to upgrade your house or office or what have you with a high-speed charger to help you get a rapid charge. Also, the new program that they have where you can go to the Mazda dealership and basically loan or borrow a vehicle to go on a more than 100-mile commute or trip is something that's available out there for these 560 new owners. So that's something that Mazda is trying and offering as well, which is pretty nice. So the MX-30, all in all, I may not see one up and down the road in Alabama. However, in a climate like California, especially kind of those more southern areas, it would be perfect. And if you are going to take those long trips, you can definitely have another Mazda in your garage if necessary. Do check out the Jalopnik article, linked down below, on how the MX-30 is or does fit in America, at least for 15% of households, as I do expect next year with the plug-in hybrid coming, that we will see more availability of this vehicle across the country. So stay tuned for that. Also, thanks again to Bert Chiu, my new friend from the other side of the country, and sharing these pictures of the MX-30. I look forward to many conversations with you, sir, and thank you for supplying these photos and contributing to the channel and the Mazda Passionate crew to take advantage of secondhand but first-hand look at a few angles maybe we weren't able to find online. So thank you so much, Bert. Thank you guys for jumping in here and watching this edition of Mazda News Update. I brought back the drum roll because I've been talking about so many Mazda crossovers lately, and there's still more news to come, but wanted to bring the drum roll back for this return of Mazda News Update. So I don't remember exactly who commented on that, but it was back for this one. I'll be here on the boulevard, keeping my ear to the ground for all the Mazda information and Mazda news, and I'll see you on the next one.